months ago, I made a new friend. Right when I needed it. Best friend's been there. He's been through it all before me. What happened next is truly for the books. This man opened his heart, he opened his heart to me. He opened his heart for you. So no matter what, no matter what, you've got to roll. Yeah, you can't go slow. Get through this time we're living in. Get your updates from Wages World. You may find yourself in the mirror, quoting yourself, you're looking for answers. Get your space weather from Wages World. The Wages World. Go get it all from Wages World. You check it, you gotta see me coming at me. Gotta get on by 3, gotta tell the world, get ready, cause you don't know what's coming. If we're gonna shut down, no, but I'm gonna give it to you. If we can, we're going to be prepared. Get your prep on the Wages World. Get your funk with the Wages World, yeah. Maybe we'll have a little Hamilton Jameson on Wages World, yeah. There's just one show you got to catch. It's Wages World. There's just one show you got to catch. It's Wages World. My brother Wages. Down and into the brother Wages. Down and into the brother Wages. Yeah, get the Wages World, yeah. See me, come up at 3, you gotta get home, get yourself charged, cause you don't know, gonna take you out, gonna just drop you off the face of the world, to the Wages World. Tune in to get your updates. Oh, your updates, Wages World. The Wages World. On the Wages World. On the Wages World. Now you get your updates from Wages World. Get your updates, Wages World. You get your updates from Wages World. That's how we write a song.
Hey guys, what's up? Sorry about that. I was on mute there for a second. Somebody give me a 5 for 5 and we'll get going. Thanks everybody for being here, by the way. Please observe and be respectful to the moderators. Yeah, so it's just pretty much adult rules, guys. I mean, no vulgarity, nothing too heavy. Please don't attack anybody personally in the chat. Challenge ideas, which is cool, which is what I encourage, actually. But please don't attack any channels. It's just not, it just brings drama. And I promise you guys from day one, no drama here. And I intend to keep that promise. So, again, challenge ideas, but please don't mention other channels' names, even if you think I don't like them or if you think I do like them. I guess I should rephrase that. No negative comments towards anybody. You want to put somebody out there that you like? Sure, go for it. Even though I might not like them, that's fine. You like them, that's cool. But please just don't be, negative. It just brings the mood down. It's just not, it's never nothing positive comes from that. So, let me go ahead and get into it, guys. Mods, thank you for helping me out here. Halo Red, Linda, IG, Rick, Devon, Alien, Mr. B, 7776. So I would go back and say, but it takes a while. Hey, Optics, what's up? So anyway, we got Schumann spikes, but I am going to go ahead and put the chat away. I trust my moderators, so please just be respectful of them and everybody else that's in there. So anyway, this is the Schumann right now, guys, and as you can see it is most definitely, a couple different spikes here, but there was one almost 24 hours before this one. And it looks as though we might be going to be getting another one. This is a pattern that I'm seeing right now. And what I mean by pattern, actually, I'm going to bring the chat up for this because I know people sometimes have questions on this. A pattern would be something that's reoccurring in a fashion that resembles each other, that kind of a thing. Now, granted, these two spikes don't look the same. But the time frame is what I typically look at, and these are happening right around the same time each day, and they're lasting about the same time frame. So that's kind of pointing me towards something coming from space that's affecting this, because these tools, you got to understand, are regional. So wherever this tool is at, which is in Russia, when it's facing the sun direction on the day side of Earth, that's probably when these spikes are happening. And that would definitely point to some, solar wind, anything that we're getting from that kind of a thing. So, that's kind of what's going on there, I think. And again, there's a lot of different things that can cause these spikes. When we do get space weather, it compresses us magnetically. And something else I want to point out here, the Schumann resonance is something that happens in between the surface of the Earth and our ionosphere. Okay? There's not one tool on the planet that can measure the whole planet. Okay? So these are local readings. And this one's in Russia. Now, there's a few other ones out there, and, I really don't even know how to access them. We can go to Disclosure News over there, but they still use this same tool. So what I'm saying is that we got, when we see these big spikes, if we can point to space and say, yeah, well, the whole globe's probably being affected at different times during the day. But we're when this tool is facing the sun, we're not. Those of us that are over here in the States. So we have to keep that in mind. So if you're feeling bad or having, this thing can make you feel really bad. So I just want to point that out. So know that this is I believe this is local time here, the Russian side here, Tomsk, Russia, I think is where this tool is at. But you can revert that back to UTC and figure it out where you're at when these things are happening. But you got to also take in consideration the geographic difference there. When this is facing the sun, if you live in the States, it's not. We're not. We would be at nighttime. So we have to keep that in mind when we're looking at this. Even when we talk about our magnetic field is not a perfect blanket over the Earth. There's peaks, there's valleys, there's cracks, there's rips all over it. all the time. So that's the same. That will affect this. So I just want everybody to understand that. Hopefully I explained that well enough. But anyway, okay. So here is what we got going on right now. Geomagnetically, we're actually in good shape. That's what I will say there. There are no storm levels or any kind of geomagnetic storm right now. We did kind of spike up here, and I'll show you that on the graph here in a minute, and what I think's causing it. Really no flaring going on either. Matter of fact, we don't really have any sunspots facing us. We got like one facing us right now. Well, it's on the Earth side. It's actually getting ready to go off the other side, so it won't even be there. But we do have some incoming, and those things are actually having eruptions, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And the one that's erupting now actually erupted when it was on this side before. So it survived, and it's going to be coming back around to us here in the next few days. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and just see what happens. But here's NOAA's predictions, or forecasting, I should say. And you can see the KP levels here. Nothing. They're not forecasting any kind of storm level. They were forecasting some uptick here, and that's exactly what we've seen really right here. So anyway, I think they actually, yesterday when I looked at this was a little different. So once this happened, they kind of went back and kind of fixed it a little bit, which they do sometimes. There's nothing to be, this is actually for May 3rd, which would be from here to here. So these conditions haven't even happened yet. So the ones that were shown for May 2nd, they probably exactly match this now, because once they do have a historic thing there, I think they go back and reiterate that data. But anyway, as you can see, the first look at the sun here, there are really no sunspots on our side right now. Now, don't let your guard down when that happens. We have coronal holes, which is what's giving us uptick in any kind of space weather right now. Plus, we have the stuff over here getting ready to crest over. And make no mistake, there's been some decent sized eruptions up here. Not huge, but there's been multiple. And that's something we're going to continue to see. You're going to start seeing as we get further and further on into the sun cycle that these eruptions are going to be multiple times a day. And I know that kind of shocks people because we're used to seeing things that, going weeks without seeing an eruption before. That's not going to happen anymore. Not for the next few years until we start going back down into a solar minimum. So this is their prediction here too, as far as CME tracker. This is density and that's velocity. I'm not going to waste your time on that because it's not really showing a whole lot here. But here is the DSCOVR data. Okay, now this is where we can talk about some things because, when we look at things, so many times people, and I'm going to pull the chat up for this one too. I'm not really going to address the chat unless you guys have some questions. But so many times, I don't know where to put this thing. I'll just say it like this. Okay, so density is orange, right? And solar wind speed is yellow here. Everybody always focuses on those two. And I used to do the same thing until I figured out that this angle up here is really the deciding factor most of the time whether or not we get geomagnetic storms. Now, the BZ is the angle of the magnetic field. When it's at a specific angle, which would be -6 or lower, which when I say lower would be -6, -7, -8, going that direction. When it's -6, that's when the stuff really comes into our system. Notice that nothing, this right here, see the box, it's giving you a number here on the box. And these are all positive numbers. 0 to +10, +12, all of that, right? So what I mean by what I'm talking about here is even though our density, look here, it spiked to, where'd it get to? That's 26, that's 28, 31. Okay, so we're right around 30. That's high for density. Normal density is 4. And the wind speed should be between 300 and 500, and notice that it didn't even get over that. But the density was enough that if the angle was correct, we would probably had some issues. It probably would have bumped our KP up. So as I'm saying this, just understand that. don't always just go to these two. Yes, these two are important data points. But this up here is, in my opinion, more important. It really is. I've seen this thing be at the wrong angle, and we were expecting like a G2 level storm and didn't get anything because the angle was not really correct. And it actually, because of that angle, it actually helped fill in the cracks of our magnetic field that we have all over the planet. And it actually helped block it. It's really crazy how that works sometimes, but that's exactly what we're talking about here. Hey, Rip, what's up, bud? If you guys don't know who Rip is, go check him out. Does a lot of good prep videos and stuff. Awesome dude, man. Awesome dude. Go check him out. Drop your link in there, Rip. Anyway, so you can see here, guys, this is the raw data, and this is what we're looking at. And this is why we really didn't get into storm level. Typically you see a density reading of 30. You're going to be seeing the KP go up, and it really didn't do a whole lot of that. And this up here, the angle is Y. I was getting some emails and some questions about that, so that's why I brought it up. All right, so we got the magnetic field here, our magnetopause, and as I run this through here, obviously you're really not going to see a whole lot on the speed one here because there's a couple little waves that come in. I know that this looks kind of funky looking. Remember, on the density here, the more dense it is, the more blue or darker blues will show up. The lighter colors means it's lower density. Well, because we had that, density spike, that's why most of this is blue right now. Okay? So as I move this along here, it does look kind of strange and everything, but you got to keep in mind, all this is showing you is density. It's showing you nothing else. So that's just the density of the particles. That's all that this thing is showing you. Now, so if we go down here and we look at the pressure, this is where we can point to things, because this is directly telling you this is pressure on our magnetic field. And you can see where these reds are, where all the pressure and the heat and all that stuff builds up because of what we're getting. And oftentimes we see it back here heat more than we see in the front. And, there's a whole lot of different ideas on what's going on there, too. I encourage everybody to research all of it. And I mean all of it. And make up your own decision after that. One thing I found interesting about this, check this out. This is something we don't typically see all the time. I've seen it before, so I don't want to make a big deal about it because I'm not going to. You see all this pressure here? Look right here. When it finally got to our magnetic field and not just got inside our bow shock and really started getting into our magnetic field, look what happened. This right, there's no pressure here and extreme pressure right in front of it. So that means we were really, that angle that I was talking about on the BZ here, where did I put it at? This angle is probably what caused that to happen like that. Okay, so you got the immense amount of pressure here. If the angle wasn't exactly correct, it wasn't able to get through. And that's why you didn't see a whole lot of pressure or heat or anything like that building up right inside of this. And it's even evident here. And you can actually kind of see the angle I'm talking about if you look at this. You see the backside here and how it lines up with the front. If you drew two parallel lines to each other, see how steep that angle is? So, that's kind of what we're talking about there. And a lot of times when it does do the negative side, and we actually start pointing up here. It's you can look at that for yourself and make up your own mind of what you're seeing there. But I've seen that happen, and again, I do think that is a big reason. So let's see here. Well, I'll show you these other magnetopause models real quick. This is the one that shows the direction, and so let me grab this real quick. You can see that. You see what waves of space weather coming in. And again, notice around our planet, we're staying pretty cool right there. Nothing much going on right there. But, you see little when we get the big hits in the front, you do see us kind of build a little bit there, but then it really just dissipates really, really quick. Really, the Earth's really handling it really well. As far as our magnetic field. And this is our magnetic connection lines. You're going to notice that things are getting pulled down that direction. So if you go there and you look at that, these are our pole lines. And again, this is, we always question what's going on here. And yeah. Yeah. So as we go here, you see the waves coming in, and these are, like I said, our magnetic connection lines. So and our IMF lines connects us to the sun and other celestial objects. So when you see those things getting all jacked up, you have to question what you're looking at. And again, this is not symmetrical. This is asymmetrical, kind of going this way. And that does point to something directional. As we're doing this right here, we can look at this. This is our Magnetopause over here. And again, this is our bow shock. And you oftentimes see what we call a standoff shock. It's in the front. There's basically two of them. You have to understand this is a two-dimensional model trying to represent something that's three-dimensional. So if you just pick it out right here in the earth and you pull that toward your face, imagine that. Or imagine like the earth sitting inside like a donut cut in half. It's more like a tube around us than it is a flat two-dimensional view of things. So when we see things kind of, going from right to left here, sometimes they're actually coming towards us a little bit and getting deflected around. I know it's kind of hard to imagine there. I get it. But really nothing too, that's some energy, and that is what it is. And, I don't want to call it normal because I don't think that is something that would be ambient conditions. That's activity, okay? But we're definitely taking some hits there. But I do think the Earth's really deflecting it really, really well right now. And a lot of that, in my opinion, has to do with that angle. Now here's the sun. You're going to see some eruptions up here. You'll see a filament kind of release off. Right there, you see that? That really wasn't a filament. I don't think, it might have been. I can't see it because it's around the edge there. But you also see it happening over here too. See that? So, and this is what we got coming, getting ready to face us. Okay, so all this activity that's happening over here is most definitely going to be coming our direction. So, and you can kind of see some filaments over here too. Up here at the top, you'll see it. See that? I know it's kind of small, but that's because it's behind the limit of the sun, and it's going to look small. But so let me show you what it looks like on seeds. This will. So I got seeds pulled up. I might not even have seeds pulled up. All right. Well, hold on a second. Okay, so that's that eruption right there. Okay, now I can tell you right now that is not going our direction. It's actually getting fired off the backside. I've already researched it out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's from our view. This is from like the satellite sits right out in front of us looking at the sun, always. Okay, it's about 1 billion miles closer to the sun than what we are, but it's always in front of us. Always looking at the sun. They can move it. It moves sometimes, but what we get to see here on this tool, it's when it's looking at the sun. But this is a side view. Okay, so given that, here's the satellite would be, here. Earth would be over here. So you can tell how that eruption is definitely going off the backside, and you can actually see how big it is. So this is from stereo A. Again, it's our side view, or partial backside view, however you want to view that. But you can see that, obviously if that was coming at us, we'd be having a different discussion. I'm not sure how powerful it actually is. It doesn't look to be a baby, but it doesn't look like it's a monster either. I would call that a toddler, probably. I've seen so many big things moving a lot faster. And that's the other thing. If we look here on our view, watch how slow this is moving. Okay, anybody that's been here for any length of time knows when we see those things pop off, typically they're moving faster. That's moving actually pretty slow. So that, if that was coming our direction, that would probably take it 5 days to get here. And then by the time it got here, it may have lost some of its punch. So, oh, there was something else here I wanted to point out too about this DSCOVR data. Oftentimes, and this is what I want to, I guess I could bring the chat back up while I'm talking about this. Oftentimes when we're looking at this, when we see this density spike up, okay, and then we see the wind speed kind of dive down at the same time, when we're getting ready to get hit with the stream of solar wind. Hey Tom, what's up, bud? But if you look at this, you'll see like a buildup of density out in front of the main solar wind stream. Okay? So as we're looking at that, you can see that, right? And like I said before, the solar wind the speed's gonna dive down as the density peaks up. Okay? And and that's kind of what we're seeing here. But now the solar wind speed's picking up, and the density has dropped some, but not extensively. Okay, not like a big drop right away. Okay, so yeah, but oftentimes when we see a density spike like this, usually that's indicative of what's coming behind it. Sometimes there's CMEs behind it, or solar wind stream, or whatever. There tends to be like a high dense wave that comes in first. And that's kind of what we've seen here. So that's why I was keeping an eye on it, because I thought, well, if that's the case, then maybe we're getting ready to, catch some sort of geomagnetic storm or whatever. But anyway, this is the geoelectric field model. This is our space weather's effect on our electrical grid. That's what this is trying to represent. Artificial electrical components, wires, transformers. Now you can see there, it's going to jump around a little bit, and usually this thing will like mirror especially the Aurora. Okay, these two, when these things spike, they're usually spiking at the same time. So as you can see, this is the Auroras. Notice here on the end how we're not getting anything, hardly anything at all. So conditions have really quieted down as far as that goes. This is really a good way to see if we're getting space weather. Auroras will most certainly have an uptick almost every time, and it happens almost immediate with the Aurora. So that's why I always show that to you guys, because I think it's important to see that. Now, right here, you're seeing two different eruptions. This is NASA's model. And you're going to see, this is the bigger eruption I showed you right there. Actually, I'll just zoom in so you guys can see it a little better. So as you're looking at this, you're seeing one and you're seeing a second. You see that? Watch the second one come off right there. Notice how neither one of them were like gigantic monsters. Okay? But they were going two different directions. That's what we have to understand. Okay, so it's almost like they split Mars in half here. That's Mars. So, that was two separate ejections, and that's kind of what we've seen on stereo A. If I can go back there real quick. This one. Okay, so watch what happens here. There's the initial one. See how it's blowing the one direction? Now watch what happens. You see that second one, kind of the second little halo part back here? It's not a halo, but it's a little arc, I guess. Those are two separate ejections. We just can't see it because it's on the backside. Okay? So that's why you're seeing that. Two separate ones here. So this just confirms that nothing is coming at us from these eruptions. But I did want to point it out because it's still eruptions. The sun is not going to sleep. So just keep that in mind, guys. And that's what I'll say about that. But right now we got one official sunspot, 2818, facing us right here. This one, they've got it circled at spaceweather.com. Please go give them some love. They do a really good job over here. That one, once it crests over, it me by looking at it, just from what I can see of it, and looking from stereo A, it does look like that's probably going to end up being a sunspot. Official one, I should say. Regardless, it'll be an active area that's going to be sending X-rays our direction. So, and could, have a flare at any time. Now, here's NOAA was forecasting a small chance of a G1 class magnetic storm on the 2nd, obviously, which was today, and it didn't happen, okay? And which is why they have percentages of the chances that we're going to be seeing these things. Now, their timing could be off, or just the power of it could be off also, or both. We've seen that happen. What they've done here is, that is this sunspot here, or possible sunspot. They've just taken the SDO camera here and flipped it a little bit. Also, we dodged a bullet on SDO. I really wanted to show you those captures, and I may still do that here in just a second. The satellite had an issue where it blacked out about half of the sun, and it was stuck there for like 12 hours. And it was kind of touch and go from what I was looking at, because I've not really ever seen it do that and get stuck and be like that for that extensive amount of time. They do their controlled rolls and all that kind of stuff and calibrations, but I was actually kind of scared that we might have, had a really bad failure on that satellite, and it would suck to lose that satellite. That's all I'm going to say. This is interesting here. This is a sprite. Okay, I'm actually going to pull the chat up for this one too. Hey Russell, what's up? Hey Dana, Tom, Harry, Trace, John. I seen Sparky in there a minute ago. Hey, Little Red. Oh, Little Red, drop yours in there anytime you want. You got my permission there. Go for it. Anyway. Hey, Amelia. Letty, what's up? My sister from another mister, you and Dana. Heck yeah. AQS is in here too. Same goes to her. Anyway, look here, guys. This is a sprite. Now, if you guys go down through here and read this, which I would encourage you to do so, this happens above thunderstorms. This is really high up in the atmosphere. And usually what triggers these things is an actual bolt going to the ground from a thunderstorm. And these things are a lot more powerful than a lightning bolt. So thank God they're going upward. Okay. Typically you have to be like 200 to 300 kilometers away before you can even see these things, because you got to be able to see above the thunderstorm. So yeah. That's amazing that they're able to capture those things to begin with, and to be able to see it. And I guess this guy here was close. He said he was, how close was he? He was a little more than 100 kilometers southwest of the location. So that's a really close capture for a sprite. Typically you have to, well, it says up here 200 to 300. It's almost twice to 3 times the distance before you can even see these things most of the time. So these things do, basically guys, it's a lightning bolt going up. And, usually it gets stopped about into our ionosphere. Say that 10 times real fast. But actually you can see right here, they actually can predict or actually figure out the power of it. They're talking about killiamps here. And a cloud to ground lightning flash is about 10 to 30 killiamps. Okay? So this sprite was 210. So you can tell just by that. I mean, you're talking what? About 7 times the strength of a regular lightning bolt. So keep that in mind. Hey, Sugar Free, what's up? ZG, what's happening? Joanne, what's up? All right, so anyway, I'm going to put the chat back away. No more knocked loose of clouds for another month or a few more months. So I'll just keep moving. Near Earth objects, not much to talk about here, guys. LD, if you guys look here, it's lunar distance. I explain this every video just about. The distance between us and the moon. That's how they measure these things. Here's the speed of it. Here's the diameter, how big it is. Okay? Oftentimes you'll come on here and you'll come back the next day and there'll be some added. Because they can't see them all. And when they do finally see them, they will plot them on here. So just know that. This right here, in my opinion, is probably the bigger story, is the coronal holes. I think we need to be paying attention to these because that's where most of our space weather is going to be coming from until we start getting some more sunspots our side of the sun. which, like I said, we got one coming, but we also have to keep in mind the sun can have an eruption anywhere at any time that it wants to. Okay? I mean, it's just really that simple. So, right? Oh, that was seeds. Something else, guys. I went ahead and started a TikTok. I'm gonna get my chat up here for this. If you guys would, I put the link down there in the description. I think is this the link to it? Yep, there it is. I put it in my description. Now I don't have any content here yet. Okay? But I would encourage you guys to go over here and follow, because I'm going to start posting like little 30 to 60 second space weather updates throughout the day. So if you go over here and give me a follow, you'll get your space weather updates when I get them. I'm just going to post them. They're going to be real quick. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time editing, if any. It's just pretty much me grabbing my phone saying, hey, we have this space weather coming, or this happened, this earthquake happened, something, whatever's going on. And I'm going to keep it really, really short. And I know people don't have time to sit through a live stream sometimes, or my videos. And this is going to be a good way for me to give somebody else another avenue to get to the space weather data. And I really don't see a whole lot of other people doing this over here on TikTok, at least with space weather. But I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to post it 30 to 60 seconds. You may get 3 or 4 of them a day. It just depends on what's going on. So if you guys would, please go over here and give me a follow. Here, I'll paste it in there again. Again, there's nothing there to look at yet. But there will be starting tomorrow. So, anyway, let's, I hope everybody, hey, Craig, what's up? Hope everybody's doing good. And I really hope everybody is having a good weekend and all that. But I really want everybody to come over here and check this out, because, you know who inspired me to do this? My daughter. This is my daughter right here. She started this thing up a couple weeks ago. And check this out. These are diamond paintings for anybody that don't know. It's like arts and crafts stuff, but this is what she's doing over here. And look, check this out. She's doing a Titanic one. She's got 108,000 views just on that one already. And she just started this. I haven't helped her at all. She did this on her own. I can't tell you how proud I am. It's amazing. I would encourage you guys to go check her out too. Actually, I guess I could. Well, it's there. I'll drop a link next time. I don't have it open in a browser. Oh, maybe I can here. Yeah, there it is. So here's her link. If you guys want to do me a favor and do me a solid, I don't think you guys will be like. It's good content too, guys. It's not something. They're quick little videos of her doing her diamond painting things. And she's going to show it step by step like she's doing here. Well, I guess I could click on that. Might be able to get some. So obviously that was a Titanic theme. And she's doing this Titanic diamond painting. And I'm just really proud of her. That's all. And, you guys would be doing me a favor if you went over there and gave her a follow and checked out some of her videos. Again, they're only 30 to 60 seconds long, and she does a really good job with them. So I just wanted to point that out. Something else here, too, before we get off here. I forgot to show you the earthquakes. Okay. One thing I want to say here, guys. We had one over here by Fukushima a couple days ago, and it was a 6.8. So everybody's nerves were like, what the heck? But we've had subsequent ones here too. And also, we've been having quite a few over here in the Cascadia subduction zone. We had some 5s over here, I believe, last week or a few days ago. And anytime we get those, I think I reported on them. So, yeah, so we got to keep an eye on that. I don't like them when I see them out there like that. That really does get my nerve going a little bit. But no fear, right? That's not what we do here. We don't do fear. We do aware, not fear. So, anyway, you can see these are all earthquakes right now. Obviously, globally, USGS doesn't plot everything. They mainly for our country and a few others. But as you can see here, guys, yeah, ongoing stuff. And there's 5s, there's 6s. So, and again, we had a bigger one over here near Fukushima. When that happens, people's butts pucker, guaranteed. Especially if you're living over here. So anyway, that's what I'll say to that. But yeah. Hey, Letty or hey, Axe, what's up? Letty, Dana, can somebody drop Mark's link in there, if you would, please? I'm going to be going over here to Mark's channel, guys, here in just a second. And, actually, let's go over here. I'm going to be hanging out in the chat. You guys should come over and hang with me, guys. This is Mark. He's over there right now. He's probably playing clips, or this might be live right now. But you guys know I've talked about Mark almost every video. he and Letty and everybody else, Axe, everybody that's here typically is already there. I get it. But I do want to say that, please come over here and maybe give him a like and a look. And I'm going to be going over here after this live stream. So please come check it out. Come hang out with us, talk in the chat. It's a good positive thing to do. And if you guys want to talk to me, I'll be over there. And anybody else in the chat that's here now, a lot of them are probably going to follow me over there. So please, just go give him a love bomb. Tell him you're from Wages if you've never been there before. Drop him a like and stick around for a minute. See if you like it. Just give it a chance. You know what I mean? It can't hurt. That is for sure. Thank you, Dana. That's his link, I believe. Dana just dropped there in the chat. Hey, Nacho, what's up? Little Red, yeah, go check out Axe's channel. I think Nacho's got, I think they got a TikTok also. Hey, Mark, what's up? Knowledge 2020, what's happening? Daniel, what's up? Love back to you. Love back to everybody, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to go over here and check this all out. And hope you guys follow me over here. And thank you guys for sticking around here. I want to say this too, guys. Go sub up to Marv and Scott, Planet X News, and everybody else that I wish I could mention everybody. But I'm trying to mention the people that are bigger than me as far as the channel, because I oftentimes forget to do that. And I don't want to leave that out. Marv and Scott and many others brought me along. And they helped me out. So please, just give them a sub. If you haven't been over there, go check them out. Marf does a great job. Him and Dex over there, Marfugal News. Guys, I just can't tell you how grateful I am for all these guys. And Mark Pires here is my brother. I mean, there's no question about it. Tom in the chat here. Tom, he's my brother. I mean, guys, we've become more than just friends. It's a family. It really is. So, and Rip. Yeah, I can just keep going. See what I mean? Go check out Rip's channel. Rip, you can drop your link anytime you want. Craig, guys, everybody. Carolyn, what's up? So, yeah, guys, please go check everybody out. That we're not going to get pushed very much. They're just not going to push our content. We got to help each other out. And we can't forget those that are bigger than us, and that's why I keep trying to do that, as long as helping the ones that do have smaller channels at the same time. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ron. Thank you, Little Red. See what I mean, guys? Ron, Emergency Management Agency. Yes, by all means. He does a great earthquake stuff. Come on. That's what I'm saying. I could keep going for hours. So that's why I feel bad when I don't mention everybody, but I just can't. There's just too many that I like and I know that are good people. So anyway, guys, God bless. Yahusha saves. And you can drink this Kool-Aid. Come check me out over here on Mark. I'll be over here on the chat.